Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Pastor Benson, you are blessed amongst women.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I said that to you.
All right. Okay, so I know that there are a lot of questions on our minds. And in this session, we'll try to take as many questions as possible. I will I'll give some time to, to people that want to come up and ask. You have just 1 minute for your question, no long story. So if you would like to come up to the mic, I will give you 1 minute to ask any question if you want to ask openly. If you are not free enough to ask your question, do well to write them on paper and hand them quickly to the ushers. Praise the Lord. So while we, get ready for that, we will go ahead with the written down questions that we have. I'm almost saying Pastor Ifeoma. Am I a prophetess? Minister Ifeoma will be taking questions from the singles, and I will be taking questions from the married. So I'll start with you, Minister Ifeoma, to go with the first question.
Thank you, Pastor. This is indeed a privilege. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll start with asking about marriage proposals. Now, how do a lady say no to a marriage proposal without offending the other party? And sorry, please, sir, I know you might say, why will you date a man when you know you want to say no? But I'm talking about a scenario where the lady was dating or courting and found some things that she couldn't cope with. Yeah. And then, boom, the question comes.
All right. Thank you for the honor and the privilege, church. I believe strongly that because this is the highest point of any singles and married conference, any family conference, the interaction, because then we get to deal with peculiar and personal issues. And this is a very important question. First of all, don't always preempt me that I'm going to answer one way or the other. Because, first of all, relationship is a choice. It's a choice you have to make. I often will say, relationship is not by force, it's a choice. And the reason why, even on your wedding day, the priest will usually ask, do you take this person as your lawfully wedded husband? The reason is because even on that day, you have the opportunity to decline, even on that day. That is why we don't assume that because two people walked into the wedding, their own wedding venue, means that they have accepted to stay married. Because marriage is big business. It doesn't matter how far you have traveled on the wrong road, it is still the wrong road. No matter how long you have traveled. So the length of years of travel does not determine if you are going to arrive at your destination. So the moment you discover any reason why the two of you should not be joined in holy matrimony, any reason, you can say no. In fact, when I conduct weddings, I usually will ask not just the congregation, if there is any reason why anyone thinks they should not be joined. I also ask the couple before they make their vow. Do you have any reason at this point? Because we have seen people grow cold feet, in the build-up to their weddings. We have seen people wanting to change their minds. We have seen people wanting to postpone, but they didn't have the guts. So we give them the opportunity to say, look, you can go back now. Because what you're about to enter is not something you can just walk out of. It's a vow, it's a commitment. You see, that vow that you are making, that says for better, for worse, unlike the charismatic of our days that says to us that we should not mention worse. Have you heard that? That when you mention worse, it's a declaration of faithlessness. It is not true. Worse is not an invitation of woe. It's a declaration of commitment. It is me saying that no matter what happened, I'm willing to stick by you. Because marriage is a commitment that must not be taken, with carelessness. So no matter how long the relationship is, you step back once you realize that you have found reason why both of you should not be together. Some people might even find out on their wedding night why they shouldn't be together. In fact, we've had people sleeping with their exes on their, do you understand what I'm saying? On the, is it bachelors or whatever?
Yes.
The one that ladies do, what do they call it?
Spinster's Eve.
We've had people, and those are deal breakers, right? So if you find any reason, you say no. Forget about the social media pressure when they are proposing, with the ring, and people are saying, say yes, say yes, say yes. They will say yes, say yes. When you say yes, now only you go, they see this thing. So never be pressured into accepting a proposal that you are not certain of. Thank you.
Thank you
Please
very much, sir.
appreciate Pastor Benson. Some very interesting questions here. It says, the first one says, what do you do if your partner doesn't listen and communicate? How do you go about resolving this?
Okay, that's the reason why there are systems in place to be able to help people. Oftentimes, people will say things like, you don't need a third party in your marriage. That is not an absolute truth. Even God is already a third party in your relationship, as it were. This marriage is not a journey you have undertaken before. Even those who have been married the first time, who have gotten a divorce and are married the second time, statistics even show that people who get 50% of first marriages end in divorce, and 70% of those who married the second time stand a higher chance of getting another divorce. Do you understand that? And so it's not a journey you have undertaken before. So there is nothing wrong in seeking for interventions and help. Once you have a problem that is as important, as serious as the lack of communication, it is important that you get an intervention, especially if you have done everything and your partner is not talking. Because communication is the bedrock of any relationship. When a relationship starts suffering, the first thing that is a victim, a casualty, is communication. People stop talking. And when you are not talking, relationship starts dying. And so it's important, if you have done everything, if you are a good communicator, because sometimes people who communicate that their partners are not talking, you have bullied your partner into silence. Are you following me? Some persons have bullied their partner into becoming silent. And so if you are not the one responsible for their silence, they just don't talk, then you need to get intervention. But if you realize that you played a role into their being silenced, you never listen to them, because after a time, people find a way to cope with you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If I keep talking and I'm not getting heard, if I keep talking about serious issues and you trivialize it, and you joke about it, and you weaponize some of my vulnerability, I open up to you, you weaponize it against me, then I will hold back. I will stop talking. So if your partner is not talking because of what you have done to them, then you need to change your ways. Probably apologize to them, say, I know I have contributed to your not talking. Can you forgive me so that we can open a clean slate? I will listen to you better now. But any relationship where communication is suffering, that relationship is dying. So you better do something quickly. And one of it, like I said, is change your ways, or secondly, seek external intervention in the form of counseling, and you get help.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the pressure is getting worse.
Sorry, Minister Efoma, I want you to take this question. It has to do with this. Sorry.
Okay. This one says, I have low esteem, and these have made me stay in toxic relationships, always begging for love. My last
She has low self-esteem?
Yes, okay. Always begging for love. And it
always
makes
what?
Always begging for love.
Begging, oh.
Yes, the low esteem makes her stay in toxic relationships. Yes. She said, my last relationship, my ex always called me names, like I'm broken, and sometimes I don't feel love or think I deserve love. Please, sir, what do I do?
Okay, see, it's not everybody that needs a relationship. There is a time where you don't have to go into a relationship. The Bible is speaking. It said something. It said, prepare your field, your work, then you can build a home. You see, you first of all have to focus on you. Like I told you, relationship or marriage doesn't really change you. It just amplifies who you are. So that's why I have made statements like, marriage is not for everybody. And don't quote me out of context. By that I mean that not everybody is ready for the responsibility of being married. So you first of all prepare yourself. Just like not everybody will practice medicine. The people that practice medicine are those who studied medicine. Not everybody is ready. I know your heart tells you need a partner. But not everybody. You need to understand what it takes to be married. And one of the things that you lack as a person is you have low self-esteem. You can't enter into a human relationship in that state. Because hurting people hurt others. Broken people break others. Are you getting me? So the first thing you need to do is to get healed from low self-esteem. Is to seek therapy. You will keep loving the wrong people. You'll keep seeking validation from relationship. And that's not the way God designs it. So you need to first heal and deal with this issue of low self-esteem. If not, you keep choosing people that will hurt you. So the first thing to do, stop. Stop going into relationships. Stop it. If not, you'll be taken advantage of. Get help. You need to enter into a relationship with a proper self-esteem. Proper. So stop. Don't go into a relationship yet. Build your self-esteem first. Build you first. Then you can go and build a family. If not, you will marry the wrong person. You will raise bad children in the way you are currently. So build you, get healed, and then get into a relationship.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask a follow-up question. When you say get help, maybe to make it a bit more, clear, where can one
so now, watch this. Yesterday when I was speaking, I mentioned some of the tests I like to conduct in premarital counseling. One of them I say is mental health test. The reality is that a lot of us as believers, a lot of humans, not just believers, we're dealing with one mental health issue or the other. I mean, not everybody, but quite a lot of people. And some of them are at severe level, some are not. There are people dealing with clinical depression. There are people dealing with ADHD. There are people dealing with bipolar. It's difficult to marry people like that. Are you following me? It's difficult, especially when you don't know what you are dealing with. Yeah. So we tell people to have a proper mental evaluation. What are you struggling with? A depressed person will not build a good relationship. So what are you struggling with? And like you read, there are professionals, especially if it's clinical, you have to seek psychiatric help or psychological help. Do you understand? It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Just like physical health, you go to the hospital. The same thing with mental health. Am I right? If it's not at a clinical level, there are little things you can do to just help yourself. Build your self-esteem, eat healthy, stay away from toxic people, build boundaries around your life. It just helps you to stay mentally sane. So if you have been diagnosed or have realized that you are suffering from one kind of depression and it's at the clinical level, you will need professional help. That is why, listen to this, it's difficult, but if you have any church that have a psychologist should make sure that psychologist is a part of the marriage committee so that they can mentally evaluate people. Because most people that are having marriage crisis are not bad people. I mean, you have seen good people struggle in marriage, am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah. They're not necessarily bad people. It's just that they are dealing with a lot of issues that they are not able to handle. I have somebody who had bipolar. She had bipolar for some years, I knew her. Every relationship was failing. Every relationship we enter, and then there are moments of extreme sadness, extreme moodiness that you can't explain. And then there are moments of wastefulness. Yeah. Because when you have bipolar, sometimes you get to that high point where you want to spend all kinds of habits, drinking, excessive sexual relationship, all habits just to numb that feeling. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you need to seek professional help if that is. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not as if you are doomed forever. It's just that you are not getting proper help. So to answer your question, professional help will do in the form of a clinical psychologist or a consultant psychiatrist.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have a number of questions to go through. This one says, how do you help couples navigate issues like infidelity, trust issues, or intimacy problems? There are two questions. The second one is, how do you address power imbalances or differing expectations within a relationship?
Okay, the first one is infidelity and trust.
Yes.
When trust is broken, I'm sorry does not fix things. Apology is not a promise that I will not do it again. Apology is not a regret for what happened. I'm going to repeat that. An apology is a regret. An apology is not a promise. What is a promise is action. It's change behavior. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
So for those of you who people tell you I'm sorry, it's not a promise. You have had people say I'm sorry and they do the same thing again. Am I right? So I'm sorry is a regret for what happened. Change behavior is a promise that it will not happen again. And for you to earn back the trust of your partner, you need a minimum of 6 months of change behavior. Do you understand that? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
A minimum of 6 months of change behavior, sometimes 12 months, a year, of change behavior that is contrary to what you did in the past. So if especially at the level of infidelity. If infidelity it has happened in a relationship, it will take more than 6 months to be able to build the trust of your partner. Because trust is not a gift, trust is earned. Am I right? Are you with me? So if you have broken my trust, you need to do more than just tell me I'm sorry for that confidence to be regained again. Of course, you can forgive people, especially if they have earned their trust, and believe that they will not repeat what they did in the past. But it's not an apology. Just I'm sorry does not fix it. I'm sorry is just you, empathizing, validating the complaint of your partner, and regretting what has happened. Are you getting me? Because the I'm sorry that does not validate the feelings of your partner. People say, sorry. Sorry is not, sorry now. Why are you overflogging this thing? That means you are not empathizing. You are not validating. You don't understand what your partner is dealing with. See, when you break the trust of your partner, you have no right to determine when they should forgive you. Did you hear what I'm saying? You have no right. It's not within your purview again. You have to now, over time, show a changed behavior that will now make that your partner forgive you and then trust that you will not do them again. So a minimum of 6 months, like I said, consistent changed behavior that is contrary. For example, if you were caught by maybe a message on your phone, if changed behavior means you give your password, changed behavior means you carry your phone, give up. Changed behavior means you delete numbers. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Not that you say, I'm sorry, then you increase your password with eye, with hand, with elbow, with thumb print, with toe print. You use even toenail, this thing, thumb print, and you say, I'm sorry. No, I counseled a couple. Yesterday night, I did a counseling of a couple who are currently in the U.S., and their marriage started having problems 6 months after the wife relocated and joined him. 6 months. They were married for 6-7 years while she was here. 6 months in America, and fire started burning. And what was the reason? Infidelity. And now, so yesterday I was telling the young man, you have broken the trust of your wife over these years, and that's why she's behaving the way she's behaving. Maybe you need to change. He said, my phone is a no-go area. I said, oh, guy, you are not ready. And so then stop complaining, because it was your phone that traumatized her in the first place. Are you following me? It was your phone. She saw those very compromising, whatever, and all of those statements. So your phone alone, the presence of your phone, trigger. Are you getting what I'm saying? So carry the phone, give it to her. Let her be your PA, answering your call.
Yes, sir.
Over 6 months, you'll see that it will delete whatever it is that has happened in the first place. So that's the way to regain trust.
Can you appreciate Pastor Benson, please?
Second question was what?
The second question was power imbalances.
Okay, when you understand marriage relationship, there's no power tussle. See, in marriage, there is no equality. You see, we are equal under Christ, but in marriage, there's no equality in the roles that God has given us. Nobody should be intimidated by the other person. The man is the head. The headship does not make the woman inferior. Did you understand? That your headship does not make the woman inferior. It's just for the purpose of protocol and order. God is a God of order.
Yes.
So when he makes the man the head and said the woman is the one that should be submissive. See, submission is not an inferior position. Submission confers on you a dimension of power that nobody can ever get. Am I talking here? Bible said when you humble yourself before the Lord, he will exalt you. So the place of lifting is submission. A submissive woman is powerful. So when there is power tussle, it's because you don't understand rules. There's no need for power tussle. Be confident in your position. For instance, let me give you an example. I cannot sing to save my life. I love people who sing. I can't sing, but I can preach. Are you getting me? And so, sing your sing, let me preach my preach. Is that also? I am confident in who I am. And so that's how it is. Be a husband and be confident being the head. And be a woman, be confident being a wife. If you understand submission, there is no kaya matter that is as powerful as submission. A submissive woman is in control of her husband. It doesn't make you inferior. So power tussle is because there is lack of knowledge.
Thank you very much.
And let me add, one of the wisdom of your aged parents, our grandparents, I call it the wisdom of the aged, ancient wisdom. Go and see your great-grandmothers. They were powerful women. Like pastor was preaching yesterday, and she mentioned that there's a way you can be submissive, that your husband will ask you, what do you want? Yoruba women of old Yoruba women understand this. When they come into the chamber of their husband, they start praising him. They begin to sing his ancestral praise. There are names they will call him. The man will wake up like a lion. Wake up from his sleep and ask the woman, what do you want? She will say, I want the teeth of a lion. He says, it's done. It is called sex transmutation. Women have used it for age to get their men to go hunting and bring the best game. Are you following me? Home. So submission does not make you inferior. It's just this generation that is crying for all kinds of equality. What's it called? Is it feminist movement? Even me, I'm a feminist. There's nothing wrong with feminism. But it's just that the new age movement has twisted. What they call feminism is that women should become men. Are you getting me? No. True feminism is that women are comfortable being women. Women are comfortable staying in their role and functioning effectively. But the new age will say feminism means that a woman can be a man. A woman can also be head. There is nothing far from the truth. A woman cannot be a head in marriage. That is why God didn't say, woman, submit to men. He said, submit to your husband. Out of the over 4 billion men on earth, just choose one now. If you can't submit to one man, what are you using your life to do? Just choose one. Don't submit to all. You can be head of all men, but you cannot be the head of your husband.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, this is quite a long read.
Just summarize.
But I'll have to.
Yeah, summarize.
Okay. I have a staff, a young couple. He has lost 2 children before delivery as a result of his wife and mother-in-law's collaboration and manipulations. Anytime his wife is pregnant, she will be going for antenatal until the time for delivery is close. Her mother will call her to the village against the will of her husband. Okay, fast forward. Sorry. Let me just summarize it. Basically, what he's trying to say is, when it's time for delivery, he'll pay for antenatal, everything. And when it's time for delivery, she'll go to the village, and the mother will make her have the child with a midwife.
That's the husband. Now.
The wife.
The wife, okay.
Yes, the wife's mother.
The husband speaking.
The husband
husband
speaking.
speaking.
And then at a point, some complications will come up.
Yeah.
And then they will call the husband to come take her to the hospital.
Yeah.
And before they get to the hospital, the child dies. It happened twice, and now he's tired and he wants to call off the marriage. He's asking now, is it the right thing to do?
Okay, so he believes that it's because the wife goes to the family.
Yes.
It goes to the mother. That's why she loses the
Yes,
baby.
and uses a local midwife.
Then you stop the wife from going to the... That's simple. He's the head of his home. Nobody should control what he wants. He should be able to say, my wife, if you get pregnant, you are not going here anymore. We're going to make sure we get all the help we need here.
So I think at this point, he's trying to say she doesn't listen. So he wants to call off the marriage.
No. Let him... That's why, you see, I tell people, don't marry a person that nobody can talk to. You see, it's a dangerous place to be in a marriage relationship with a woman or a man that doesn't listen to anybody. You must make sure that your partner has somebody that they are accountable to. A system of accountability must be built around you. It was the son of one prominent preacher in this country. I don't like mentioning names of preachers on people's altar. But the son of one prominent minister in this country who said that his father is very prominent, one of the leading ministers in this country, that his wife, there are 3 names if the wife calls, he is restored to factory setting. No matter how he's misbehaving, once he mentioned this name, he calms down. And none of them is his father or his mother. So he should have somebody that his wife listens to. And like I told you, thank God for the church system. Pastors are willing to be a part of your life.
Yeah.
That's why anybody that is not submissive to a pastor, you shouldn't marry them. Because there should be somebody that is an authority over that person. Anybody that does not understand spiritual submission cannot understand the submission required in marriage. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the challenge, before you get, divorce is not an event. Even divorce is supposed to be a process. You have to exhaust the process before you talk about breaking your marriage. So who are you talking to? Talk to somebody that your wife listens to, somebody that will be able to speak some sense into her. Because you can't keep repeating the same thing and expect the result to be different. As far as he's concerned, going to the village and doing all of this traditional whatever is affected. So let's try another means. If she's not reasoning with him, then he needs to seek help. Divorce is not a solution. Divorce is an option that is better than death.
Wow.
I'm going to repeat that. Divorce is not a solution. People want to... Divorce is not a solution. Divorce is just an option that people can take that is better than dying. Because the covenant of life is superior to the covenant of marriage. God wants you more alive than married.
Wow. Did you hear that? Just what, okay, our time is practically up, but I had said that I would throw 1 minute for anybody that wants to ask any question. Anyone?
First, here we want to bring out also the little time that we have.
Okay.
They are quite important, I believe. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
It says, what do you do when your partner hardly forgives? Always bringing the past once as an argument. Number two, when you have a husband that always beats and insults you, what can I do?
Husband that beats and insults you, it's time to separate. Anybody that can slap you can kill you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anybody that can slap you can kill you. The only reason why they are slapping you is because there's no knife in their hand. Are you getting me? So, and there's something about physical violence. It increases. The level of violence increases over time. If they are slapping you and it's not making effect, they start blowing. If they start blowing, it's not making effect, they use something. So it keeps increasing. So at this level, I want you to seek help. If you are in that relationship, step out first. Get help first, quickly, before we lose another person in a marriage relationship. Secondly, if your partner, the first one was if he doesn't, that's the second one. If he hardly forgives, okay. Okay, you have to have a conversation and talk about it. Why are you always weaponizing? Why are you always bringing the past? Especially if you are not repeating the same thing. Sometimes if you have offended your partner in the past, you have to make effort not to keep doing the same thing they are complaining about. Because once you do them, it brings out memory. Especially if your partner suffers from PTSD. Do you understand? Once an event traumatizes them and it happens again, it brings back what has happened in the past. So you can help by not repeating the same thing. That's one. Secondly, have the conversation of what that does to you. And then if that does not work, you seek external intervention.
Okay. These questions are from singles, but let me just quickly take them. And I'll take all of them so that you just handle them. Okay, the first one says, is there any duration for a specific number of months required for courtship? Is long-term dating acceptable? For example, 3 to 4 years or 5 years of dating before marriage? And then the last one. Okay.
Well, first of all, dating is a strange concept to Africans. Dating is an imported culture. But see this, Africans have pirated it. We have
Abused.
polluted it. The concept of dating is a non-commitment stage of a relationship that should not last more than 3 months. The concept of dating is a period where I get to know whether we can move to a commitment stage called courtship. So that is the period where we talk. It's not a period where we start touching body. Dating is a period of getting to know the person. It's like window shopping. Are you following me? Let's talk. So dating period is for talking, not for touching. Are you getting me? That's why dating, when you go out on a date, I've told it humorously, Africans go on pounded yam date. You know, you go and eat and you stop talking. You are too full, you can't talk, say let's go home. People who invented dating, if there's anyone like that, they stay on tea date, coffee date. Are you following me? So that they talk and get to know each other. So dating is a non-commitment stage. Anything after 3 years, okay, you don't marry, no dating again, no. Do you get what I'm saying? So then you move to courtship. Courtship is the first stage of commitment. That's the stage where you say, I am now committed to you, right? And at that point, it should be a relation that has dates. What it should be planned. It should have a blueprint. When are we getting married? Are you following me?
Yeah.
When are we getting married? So there's no open-ended courtship. There's no, let us see how God will take us.
Yeah, so.
No, we'll have a plan. So you don't make that commitment until you have a plan. That's why it's possible to date somebody and don't practice it, but the Western world, that you can date 3 people at the same time. In other words, you go out on a date with somebody on Monday to check whether it's somebody. On Wednesday, you go out with another one. Are you hearing me? After the first date, there's what is called a second date. Second date means I've learned something that has given me permission to see, to get to know you more. Then there's a third date. Within 90 days, 2 months, 3 months, you should be able to make a decision whether I should commit to this person or not. That's where you move to courtship. Yeah.
Well, okay. Then the last question, how do you handle a situation whereby the woman you're dating tells you that she prefers male friends to female friends?
She prefers male friends. No, it's a red flag. The truth is, it takes high level of discipline, right? Self-awareness to be able to keep close friends of the opposite sex. It's not for everybody. So I usually will say a man and a woman cannot be, especially if they don't have committed relationships, separate, cannot be that close as friends. Are you getting me? Before you know it, proximity will begin to make feelings develop. So when a woman said, I prefer male friends to female friends, especially at that level of proximity. Of course, you can have friends who are acquaintances. But at the level where you are now close, like I'm dealing with a situation where they are so close now that they say they can even sleep in the same room and nothing will happen. You know, so yes, nothing may happen, but it's not for everybody. There are people who have been able to build a lot of mental awareness, have been able to establish boundaries. Are you following me? And, you know, have some clarity. The relationship has some measure of clarity. We have clarity, we have boundaries, but it's not for everybody. So stop saying you prefer male friends than female friends if you are female. It's setting yourself. The Bible says we should not make provision for the flesh. Do not make provision for the flesh. You may not be that kind of person, but you are making provision. It's just like somebody who say my weakness is sex and your favorite movie is romance movie. Your favorite movie should be war film. Because, or horror film. You shouldn't have sex problem and then you are watching romance. That's you making provision for the flesh. You should starve your weakness and feed your strength.
Wow. Starve your weakness and feed your strength.
Okay, I'll just run through this last two quickly. This one says, hello, is it a bad idea if a man decides not to get married, just become financially stable and adopt a child or two?
As long as you are not committing fornication or adultery, as long as you are not sleeping with other people's children on that platform, it's okay. Like I said, even the Bible said that not everyone, some people have chosen to be eunuchs. There are people who have chosen not to be married. So if you don't want to marry and you know you can stay without committing sin, then it's a choice. Marriage is a choice. Like I say, it's not for everybody. People have called me names for saying that, but I believe that it's not for everybody. Two kinds of people. Some people have chosen not to be married. The Bible said there are those categories of persons. In fact, Paul tells people that they should not be married. There's a point where Paul says, it's good to marry, but if you want to ask me, you better stay. So there are people who have chosen not to marry. Then there are those who are not even ready, but they think they are ready. They shouldn't even be married until they are ready.
Thank you, sir. Okay, the last one quoted you. He said, Pastor Benson said, Abraham told his son to marry from a particular place. Where is the best place where Christians should marry from?
From the church. The church is a good place to marry. The household of faith is a good place to marry. Places where good women are, well-responsible women. Yesterday when we were coming to church, or 2 days ago, we passed through the road and I saw some very tiny girls hanging on the road, and I was crying with my protocol. Tears when I saw little girls hanging on. You don't pick wife from those people. Those people are mentally, are you following me? There's something wrong with your mind to stay on the road and a stranger comes speak you don't know the person. You just follow the person and go home. Something must be wrong with you. Do you understand? So the church is a good place to choose, a community where good people are raised. So you can marry from the church, you can marry from good families, people who are properly raised. What Abraham was saying, that if you go to that place, there are girls who are properly raised in that place. It's not specific about geography, if you know what I mean. He's speaking to the fact that he understands the people from that place. They are properly raised. So you raise people that you know where they're coming from. I mean, you choose people that you know where they're coming from, that belongs to community like where they are being taught well. I can guarantee you, you have a chance of picking better than going somewhere else.
Wow. We've come to the end of this session. Thank you so much, Pastor Benson. Please, let's appreciate him as we go back.